Hello, everybody. Hey, I think this is going to be my last video. Again, my name is Dean, and I'd like to be the CEO of Harley Davidson. I feel I can get this company back on its feet. In fact, help get the country back on its feet by getting Harley Davidson going. So, I've done a few videos here. Very primitive. I don't have any tech skills. I don't have any fancy equipment. But the first one, I talked about how I would restructure corporate. Second, I talked about dealerships. The third, independence. The fourth, the VICLA, propagate and perpetuate that good old fashioned Harley style that I personally love, and I think it's in high demand in a big part of the country. And after that, I talked about catalog builds. Buy what you need, assemble your bike. That would include reintroducing the panhead and a stroke panhead, same for the Milwaukee 8 naturally aspirated kickstart, being produced and assembled either at clinics on Native American reservations or full builds coming out the old Kansas City plant. I'd like to bring that back online. Last two things I'm going to talk about here are the electric motorcycles. If you want to buy a $35,000 electric motorcycle, I think that's great, but I would change Harley Davidson from providing these as a consumer good to a service industry. The motorcycle goes a couple hundred miles. That's not going to get you very far in a day. You definitely won't be going coast to coast overnight. But I propose this. Harley Davidson provide electric motorcycles at points along Route 66 by reintroducing these small little gas stations. These would now be independently owned Harley Davidson franchises. We would make these at points on Route 66 to start that were within range of each electric motorcycle. Also available at these stations on this road would be premium fuel. If you've ever traveled southwest, that bike's going to ping. You got to carry that octane booster. So we would lease or rent the machines on basically a Pony Express platform. You get your machine in Chicago, you ride it till the battery dies, you drop the battery from the belly, put a new one up like a wingtip tank in an aircraft, and go to the next station. These would be manned with people who could rescue you, swap the battery out, sell you fuel. Now, down in the Southwest, these independent small shops could be placed in the middle of the desert running solar. It could be an oasis in Death Valley. There was a situation where a couple had two flat tires and they died in Death Valley. But you could literally take one of these small stations. We could restore the ones that are still restorable, and we could save those. And Harley Davidson could do a single use station, solar panels. It could be in the middle of the desert, and they would have electric off the grid. We could place those throughout the country within range of another small station. So people would run in confidence knowing they could be rescued. It'd be a really good way to get people on motorcycles that don't have 35,000. So we would turn that into a service industry. Now the motorcycles, you could take them off the route. They would be very much repurposed. We would have a Avon style fairing that would be solar paneled. It would reduce wind load. We would also change the configuration of the machine so it had a droppable battery so you could swap them out. We would also have some type of luggage on it so that people could buy a liner, put their stuff in, put it inside the machine. The display would be, miles per hour, keep you legal, but it also have a couple functions. One, it would give you a warning at a point when you had to return to get a charged battery. So it would start flashing, then it would automatically go on the GPS, take it to the nearest chargeable station. We'd have it we have a panic button. Something happens, you hit it, somebody's going to know where you're at. They're going to come and get you. So that's just a couple of the things I want to talk about, but I definitely think we need to quit selling the electric bikes, turn it into a service industry, put those small stations back on the map, and try to recover whatever we can of the Mother Road. I'd also do this on the Lincoln Highway. It's never spoken about, but it's definitely the return trip coming back is always the Lincoln Highway. But I'm really adamant that renting these and leasing these is the way to go. Turn that into a service industry. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is what the brothers originally did for Harley Davidson was to build something to get them fishing. They just wanted to go fishing. And I propose this: Harley Davidson Marine. We would provide a pontoon or some type of catamaran watercraft that you could have at a dock. You could ride your Harley to it. There'd be a ramp. You'd ride into the machine. Your rear tire would go on the rollers. Your front tire would lock into a swivel that would control the rudders and bow thrusters. It would use a jet drive. There would be no propellers. It would run in shallow water. It'd have to be infinitely stable. And you could have all your fishing gear, your live wells, and everything on this Harley Davidson maritime platform. You could ride out, put your bike on it, motor around the lake using your motorcycle. I think it's a great idea, and I think it really brings us back to where Harley Davidson started. My name is Dean. I'm doing these videos. I had a job interview. I'm going to be working again, but I don't want to go down through the end of my life and say, hey, I could have saved Harley Davidson. What did you do? I'm just putting my ideas out here. I'd love to run Harley Davidson. I really feel that I could turn that company around, and that's about all I got. But anyway, I'm done. I've said what I wanted to say, and I wish you all the best. Stay safe. Keep riding. Love you guys. Bye-bye.